Hello, hello, and welcome to my very first YouTube video. I will be sharing how I crochet these beautiful scarves, these little neck scarves, because right now basically everyone I know that knits and everyone I see on social media is knitting the sophiescarf right now, and since I have not yet picked up the knitting needles and I do know how to crochet, I created a crochet pattern for it. So that's what I want to show you today. I am trying to show you how I construct the pattern so you can adjust the scarf to your liking. So when you want it a little bit wider or you want it longer or shorter, you will know how to do it, hopefully. For the project I will show you today, it's going to be this scarf. I will be using a 4.5mm hook and a yarn that is according to the hook size, but you can really use any yarn with any hook basically. It will just turn out a little bit different sizing wise, but it works with any yarn, I would say. You will need approximately a little bit more than half of a ball of yarn. I weighed these scarves and they are all around 31 grams. So wait, I show you when I did this scarf in black. I used new yarn and that is still what's left of it. So great way to use up scrap yarn. For the scarf you basically can use any stitch that you like the most. The only thing you would have to adjust would be the turning chain you are using. I really love the half double crochet and that's what I will be using in this project. Also, I will be working in the back loops only because I really like the rippled effect that it gets. If you would like to have a little bit more of a smoother scarf, maybe more in the direction of the sophiescarf itself, then you can work into the loops like you would normally. In every scarf I have made so far, I have been going into the back loops only because I really like this rippled effect. I have also written down the pattern for this scarf in the size that I am doing it, for anyone who does not want to have the visual aid and guidance. If you are trying this scarf out for yourself, I would love to see what you created, or just let me know in general if you tried following my tutorial. That would be wild for me, so please send me a picture or just DM me a message saying I crocheted your scarf and it turned out, or it didn't, and or comment or anything. I would love to know if someone did it. So let's go and crochet a scarf because they're cute. Alright, to start off with the scarf you're going to start with the slip stitch. The way that I do it is I cross the yarn over like this, and then through the loop that is created here, I'm taking the two fingers, getting the long end of the yarn, pulling that one through, but not all the way, and then tighten like this. So here is where you can put in your hook and then just pull on the yarn so it's a little bit tighter on the hook like this. Alright, to start off I am going to chain 3, so yarn over, pull through, that was 1, then 2 and 3. For the start it helps me to grab onto this little end so I have a little bit more hold, and then I'm going to do the turning stitch that I will be using all the way. So for me that will be a stacked single crochet. So what I am doing is inserting my hook into the second stitch we made, like this, yarn over, pull through. Now I have 2 loops on my hook. I yarn over, pull through those, so a single crochet. So I have the first single crochet here. Now I'm inserting my hook into the first loop of that single crochet we just made and do another single crochet like this, and that is my turning chain that I will be using for all the stitches. Now I'm doing a double crochet in the very first stitch we made, So I'm yarning over, inserting my hook into the loop, yarning over, pull through, yarning over, pull through the 3 loops on the hook, like this. So that is row 2. Now I'm turning my work. This is really small by now, but it will get easier. Now I'm doing my turning stitch, but I will be working in the back loops only of each stitch, so I will get the rippled effect that I really like for the scarf. If you don't want that look, you will be working in the stitch as you would normally, but I will be going into the back stitch only. So turning chain, I will do the stacked double crochet in the first stitch, like this, and then continue with half double crochet in the next stitch, do another one in the next stitch, and then do one more half double crochet in the loop that's created at the very end here. Like this. So it's starting to get to a little point here like this, like that. So the very last stitch is not really a regular stitch, but rather part of the turning chain, but I still am going into that last stitch because I want to create this triangular shape. So what's next is I'm turning my work and do another turning stitch. So for me that's a stacked single crochet because I really like how it creates a very nice edge for the piece. If you don't like to use that method, you could also do chain 2 like this, and then do 4 half double crochets into the next 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and pick up that last stitch also, like that. And if you are working in the back loops only, try to always get a view on top where you can see the V's, because they like to twist away while working with it, so don't get them confused. So turning my work, doing the turning chain of my choice, so stacked single crochet like this, and then do 5 half double crochets in the next stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Like this. And you are now starting to see a little bit of that rippled effect, which I really like. So next step is twisting work. Do the stacked single crochet as turning chain, and then do another 5 half double crochet in the next stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, like this, turning my work, and do the turning chain. So from this row on, I will be adding one more stitch every 2 rows. So I have 2 rows with 5 half double crochets, and now I'm adding one at the very end by doing 2 half double crochets within the same stitch. So starting off with the 5 half double crochets within the next 5 stitches, just as we did before. Like that. But what we are going to do is add one more half double crochet within the last stitch, like this. So we added 1 stitch to that round. Now we're going to turn the work, do the turning chain, and do 6 half double crochets in this row. Next row, turning work, do the turning chain, and now we are adding 1 more stitch at the very end of the round. So we have 7 stitches in the next round. What you could also do is add the stitch along the way. So for example, you could also do 2 half double crochets in the very first stitch. That doesn't really matter. Normally I like to put them in the middle somewhere so they are not that obvious, but I found that you cannot really tell that you add them at the end, and I somehow can remember it better if I do it at the end. So if you like the look more, you can also add the 1 stitch in the middle, but I like to do it at the end. So that's 6 half double crochets and then plus 1 at the end. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1 more in the same one. Turning work, do the turning chain, and do 7 half double crochets. Turning work, inserting, doing the turning chain, and again add 1 more stitch at the very end, so I have 8 half double crochets this round. And add 1 more, like that, turning my work and do the turning chain, like this, and do 8 half double crochets. Turning my work. Turning chain. And add 1 half double crochet at the very end. And I am going to continue this kind of pattern, increasing every second row until I reach 12 half double crochet in one row. So you can see whenever I am increasing, it gets wider, and because I do it every second row, it gets wider a little bit slower. If you like your scarf to get thicker quicker, you just skip the row where you do not increase and increase every row. If you want it to get wider a little bit slower, so it's slimmer for longer, you just add as many rows where you don't increase in between. But I think I like this, how this is gradually getting thicker. So I will meet you again when I am at the 12 half double crochet increase. So we are at 9 right now. So this is the row where I will be doing 12 half double crochet. So the last row was 11 half double crochet, so I will be doing 1 increase at the very end here. So 1, 2, 3, 10 and 11, and in the 11th stitch I will be doing 2 half double crochet. So that starts the round with the 12 half double crochets across. What I will be doing now is stopping the increases at this point and do around 58 rows of 12 half double crochets in one row. So at this point it will not get any wider and it will be just straight across. You can adjust how many rows of no increases or decreases you want to make. It depends on how long you want your scarf to be. My scarf ends up probably being around 110 centimeters long, but you can obviously adjust the length how you like it, and I will meet you again when we start to decrease. Just keep in mind that when you change something up at the very start, how I do it here, you will also have to change up the other side with the decreases accordingly. But I will explain again when we get there. Alright, we're back. That took me around 1.5 hours and around 60 rows of 12 half double crochets in one row. I played the game of does this yarn will be enough for this project, and I lost. So don't mind the slight yarn change around here. I found some yarn in my stash that is close enough that I don't mind the difference. So that's the starting point of where I would start decreasing. What helps me to decide when to start decreasing is I have a look at the opposite side. I could also put a stitch marker to the point where I stopped increasing and then see how much more that would give me at this end, and just try on the scarf and have a look at if it hits my neck where I want it, and I only want a little bit of the yarn left over, so that is basically the point where I would now start to decrease, because I will be happy with the length when I add around that much of scarf. Alright, so I just ended this round of half double crochets, 12 half double crochets, so I'm turning my work and I am decreasing, so that means I will take away one stitch this row. How I will do it, I will start by the usual turning chain I was using all along before, like this, and start my half double crochets like this. Maybe do a second one. It doesn't really matter at which point you are doing the decrease. The decreases, for some reason, I like to do somewhere around the middle, rather than the increases, which I did always at the end. But how it's generally done is you start your half double crochet as normal, so yarn over, insert your hook in the loop, yarn over, pull through, and normally you would yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook, but what you are going to do now is insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, and now you have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, and I like to pull through 3 and then through the remaining 2. What that does is giving one less stitch at the row over, at the row on top of that row. So I'm ending this row as I would normally with half double crochets up until the end. Like this. I'm turning my work, then do the turning chain again. And then do half double crochet in this row, because we did increases on every second row on this at the start of the project, we're going to do decreases every second row, so it'll match up with the beginning of the scarf. So that's what I'm going to do. So no decrease in this row. So that should be 11 half double crochets on the hook, or in this row now, so not counting the turning chain. I will just make sure. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now turning my work. So that would mean after the turning stitch here, I'm going to decrease in this row again. So starting with, I'm going to do 2 half double crochets first and then do another decrease. So again, yarn over, insert the hook, yarn over, pull through, insert the hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 3, yarn over, pull through 2. And that is decreasing the row above, so it is 1 less stitch than before. And finishing off that row with half double crochet as normal. Like that. Turning my work. turning stitch rather, and half double crochet all the way back. Like that, turning work, turning chain, and in this round another decrease. So I'm going to do it here and decrease like that. And I am basically continuing this pattern of decrease and doing all half double crochet up until I am at 2, I think, stitches per row. So if you keep decreasing every second row, it will look somewhat like this, so it gets thinner and thinner. Right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches left into the first one. I will do my turning chain as usual, and I am at a row where I need to decrease, so that's going to be the 2 middle ones, like this, and one more in this row. Turning my work, do a turning chain, like this. No decrease in this round, like this. Turning my work. So for the last row, I have 3 loops left I could work in. In the first one I have my turning chain, and then I will do one last decrease like this and like that, and I will fasten off at this point. So yeah, last decrease, and then I chain 1, cut my yarn with a little bit of yarn left, pull that through, fasten it, and the only thing left to do is weave in this end and the beginning, and your scarf is done. So this scarf, literally, it took me maybe 2 hours if I would not have had the trouble with the different yarn, but I will try it on now. So I just very quickly wanted to show you what kind of difference it makes when you use a thicker, chunkier yarn with a thicker needle, and if you are not going into the back stitch of every stitch. So it is much more of an even texture, rather than what we did here with the ribbing or rippled effect, I don't know what you call that. And maybe here also the size comparison, I used the exact same amount of stitches and technique, other than not going into the back stitch in the back loop of each stitch, and you see how much of a difference it makes. I was using a 4.5mm hook before, and here that's a 7mm hook with a much more chunkier yarn. But I think this would also turn out just as cute. It's just a different look, just so you know. You know what I also just realized? I think it could be really cute if I would do a border of single crochet in a contrasting stitch to spice it up. You could also use different colored yarn along the way. I think that would also be really cute. But so for example, black and white, wait, I'll show you. If I take the yarn, do a slip stitch, insert my hook at any point at the border and pull it through like this, can you even see? Like that, and then just do a single crochet all around. I think that could be really cute. And look, that looks adorable. I might do that to the whole thing. So the piece does not really have exact stitches all around, so I'm just inserting an even spacing my hook and do a single crochet. So inserting the hook, grabbing the yarn, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through, and that all the way. Oh my god, I think I will just do that. That is so sweet. Cool. I think I will do like 20 more now. I have so much yarn in my stash and I could own these in every color. So let's get to work.